Hello everyone, and welcome to Mr. Dave's Science Corner. Today we're going to talk about two different types of trees, two trees that are in the plant family. Now, we talked about a daffodil. It was a flowering plant last week, and it's in the same kingdom, the plant kingdom. So these two trees are not going to look a lot like the daffodil because the daffodil had a lot of different parts and different traits, but it does have some of the similarities as well. So let's talk about these two different trees. First of all, we're going to say or talk about the coniferous tree. The coniferous tree is in the evergreen category. So let's talk about the evergreen trees. The evergreen trees are trees that have leaves all year long. The evergreen trees are trees that never lose its leaves. The deciduous trees are the trees that you see now starting to blossom into full-size leaves. Those leaves are going to stay on up until the fall, and then the fall time is when you start to see these leaves lose their power, meaning that the tree gets less food produced, and to do that we need the sunlight, and the sun goes way up into the sky in September and October. So those trees start to lose their leaves. So deciduous trees lose their leaves at some point in the year. Now, let's talk about how these trees do this. How do they reproduce and how do they grow? Well, first of all, the evergreen tree, and I'm going to go back to the example of a pine tree, which is an evergreen pine, so that means it's also called a coniferous tree. Now, these coniferous trees have things on them such as what I have here, a pine cone. These pine cones hang on the tree almost like what you see behind me here. These are pine trees, and these are the things that hang on the actual tree. These pine trees have seeds inside of this cone, and this cone will eventually, it's closed at the first time of the year that they are just coming out on the tree, and then all of a sudden these start to open up and seeds drop out. And as these seeds drop out of these cones, they can land anywhere in the ground. And if they land the right place at the right time and get good fertile soil, like we talked about with the daffodil, they will grow into trees just like this was a big, big, tall pine tree, right? That's the coniferous pine cone tree. And you might know this tree a little bit more for my preschoolers. If you celebrate a holiday in December, you might put this tree inside. It's a Christmas tree. That's a pine cone tree. Now, there are other types of evergreens, and we'll say or mention one, it's the rhododendron. The rhododendron does not have needles like the pine cone tree does, but it does have green leaves that never fall. All right, now let's talk about the deciduous tree. The deciduous tree is another tree that has different ways to grow and reproduce. So if these trees have leaves on them and they have big, huge leaves all summer long, and they start to drop their leaves in the fall, it doesn't mean that they die. It means that they go dormant. So they sort of go to sleep for a while. And during that time period, there are things on these trees that will help drop or disperse. We call it dispersing the tree's seeds. So let's take a couple examples of those. First of all, I have this. Now this is hard to see maybe. There it is. This is from a sweet gum tree. The sweet gum tree is a tree that's right around my neighborhood here. It looks a little bit like, when it starts to get its leaves, it looks a little bit like the leaves of a maple tree. This is a seed pod or something that holds seeds. And if you look really, really closely, all of these little holes are where the seeds are. So this is green and tight when it's just starting to grow and mature. But as the time comes by, it gets like this. It gets brown. The seed pods open. They drop off the tree, and you get seeds to land. And wherever they land, and I know my backyard has one of those trees, it gets to be a new seedling, a new tree that will grow in that spot. Another one that a lot of my little preschoolers love to play with over there. So preschoolers, if you're listening, think about this one. This one, and I'm looking here to see if I got a good one. This is what a lot of the preschoolers love to take home or put in their pockets. And I know Mr. Larry, one of the workers, one of the employees over there, gave us a lot of these to throw out and throw them into the woods because these also will grow huge, beautiful trees. These are oak trees. And these right here, this little acorn is truly hiding in it a big, huge oak tree. Big, tall, bigger than the house that you live in. So these are also dropped. Squirrels pick them up, other animals pick them up, break them up, and they end up going into the ground and they start to sprout new oak trees. So that's the second one. And the third one I really love, and this one here is a maple leaf. Now, I have to be honest, this is not a true, real leaf this color because this would have been in the fall. This is a plastic one, but I wanted to show you the type of leaf that I'm talking about. This maple leaf is green right now. It's going to come out from a bud and it's going to grow beautiful, beautiful, big maple leaves, and this will grow all summer green. Now, when it gets time for these seeds to start to disperse or fall to the ground, they come in what I always called a helicopter. When I was little, we'd take these green seed coats and we'd take them, throw them up in the air, and watch them fall like a helicopter twirls, like the blades of the helicopter. Or you used to put them on your nose and pinch it. And when you pinched it, you knew that you had the maple seeds because they were in there. I used to like to break them open and see those little seeds. So we talked about deciduous and evergreen trees. And the evergreen tree, the example was the pine cone coniferous tree. Now, it's your turn. What I want you to do, like I usually do, I want you to get out into your backyard or somewhere close to you where you have permission from your mom or dad to go and check out the different types of trees that you have. And I want to hear from you back on Facebook. I love to see all the posts that I'm getting from my preschoolers and some of the other kids that I've worked with. We really, really miss all of you, and we're hoping that you stay in contact with us through going online and checking out our Facebook page and also some of the things that we're doing with you. This video will be posted, and I hope to find some people that comment on the types of trees that they find, the deciduous, evergreen, or any types of those trees that you might not know about. Send them to me through Facebook and we'll communicate that way. So, again, as usual, please stay healthy, stay safe, and enjoy the outdoors where you can. And let me know what kind of trees that you find. For now, I'll talk to you later.